In a society where innovation has shaped our lives, one name has stood out among the rest: Mark Zuckerberg, the man who built up a multi-million-dollar corporation from his college dorm, connecting people from across the globe. He seemed unstoppable, but as the once visionary entrepreneur is facing a reality check, his past successes couldn't shield him from failure. Introducing the MetaVerse, Zuckerberg's ambitious vision of a digital universe where we could play, work, and connect in ways we never imagined. But as the hype grew, so did the doubts. Critics questioned the feasibility of his new project, and as time went on, it became clear that this was more than just a bump in the road. As he lost the trust of even the people around him, Zuckerberg's personal fortune had dropped by over 100 billion. Despite all the negatives, Zuckerberg continues to pursue the dream of a perfect reality. However, it's left critics with one question: has the billionaire lost his mind, or is he seeing something the world isn't? But to truly understand the story, we have to look at the events leading up to MetaVerse's decline. On October 28, 2021, Facebook had completely rebranded and changed their name to Meta. This was part of a strategic shift in focus from social media to the future, an immersive form of the internet powered by AR and VR. And this all links back to the creation of the MetaVerse.
To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
But just a year later, in 2022, Meta's market value sank to $268 billion, down from more than $1 trillion in September of 2021. Things were tragic. Not even 16 months after Facebook crossed $1 trillion in market value, joining an exclusive club consisting of Apple, Microsoft, and even Amazon. Its parent company Meta was worth less than Home Depot and barely more than Pfizer and Coca-Cola. However, Zuckerberg's response was interesting. He blamed the plummet of Meta's market value on Apple's privacy changes. This change allowed iPhone users to choose if apps like Facebook could monitor their online activity, and if the user opts out, then Facebook receives less data, which means targeting ads becomes extremely difficult, costing the company millions in ad revenue. And although Facebook has had many problems with user data in the past, and this very well could have played a smaller part in their decline, the main contributor to that decline is the continued spending on the MetaVerse project. In 2021 alone, Zuckerberg spent over $10 billion on the MetaVerse, which is 10 times more than what he spent on Instagram, and the MetaVerse was operating on nothing but a loss.
$10 billion was just a number that I had trouble processing. I feel sick to my stomach thinking about that much money being spent.
However, during this time, the hit to Meta also whittled down Mark's personal fortune, having lost almost $90 billion of net worth at the time. And during numerous conference calls to discuss Meta's earning, Zuckerberg reassured investors, saying that he is pretty confident this is going in a good direction. However, investors remained unconvinced. The company is making what amounts to a wildly expensive bet on its ability to transform itself into a virtual reality giant, and whether that technology can power the next phase in Meta's growth. And all the strategic shifts like this take up a lot of resources and time to execute successfully, as demonstrated by IBM and Microsoft when they went from selling hardware to software. But this excuse doesn't change the fact that Meta's losses were through the roof. Investors are still skeptical because so far, there hasn't been a substantial influx of users. And to make matters worse, unlike the extended time frames commonly accepted in Silicon Valley for building businesses, Wall Street evaluates companies based on the immediate returns, rather than investments and predictions that extend several years into the future, which is exactly what Zuckerberg's whole dream is revolved around. Horizon Worlds. Meta's new virtual space trimmed its goal for monthly active users to 280,000 from 500,000 in an attempt to minimize failure and save face. However, in late 2022, the space was attracting less than 200,000 users. Despite the initial hype and excitement surrounding the metaverse, a lack of coherent vision, intangible advancements, and lack of leadership ultimately led to its downfall. This was evident when in August, Mark decided to post a screenshot of his Horizon Worlds avatar on his Facebook page, along with an announcement that the app was expanding into France and Spain. But the avatar's flat, cartoonish look became the laughingstock of the internet for days, some even comparing it to a 2002 GameCube release. Following the feedback, Zuckerberg and other company executives instructed employees to prioritize enhancing the appearance of the avatars, as reported by 2 employees. Mr. Stone, Facebook spokesman, characterized Zuckerberg's reaction to the avatar backlash as frustrated, but didn't provide any further details. Employees mentioned that a new version of Zuckerberg's digital appearance was fast-tracked, along with updates to other Horizon Worlds avatars that had been in the works. 4 days after Zuckerberg's original post, he shared the upgraded digital version of himself, where he attempted to downplay the situation, conceding that his avatar was pretty basic. while the graphics in Horizon are capable of much more. But this couldn't have been true, because one Meta graphic artist claimed in a LinkedIn post that he and his team had designed roughly 40 versions of Zuckerberg's face before a final version was approved. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a product that is capable of much more. To me, it sounds like a rushed product that faced backlash and is now scrambling to improve to save the image of their company. And let's be honest, there's little to no incentive for the MetaVerse or any of its recent products like the Meta Quest Pro for everyday people, with prices ranging from $400 to more than $1,000. The public has better options like PlayStation or the Xbox that have a wider range of experiences and even have their own set of virtual reality at a fraction of the price. Some Meta employees have expressed their doubts about Zuckerberg's enthusiasm for the metaverse. This year, he encouraged teams to conduct meetings using Horizon's Workrooms app, a virtual conference room platform. However, many employees didn't even have a VR headset or hadn't set them up yet. As a result, they had to hurriedly purchase and set up devices before the managers became aware. In a May survey conducted by a blind and anonymous social network, only 58% of 1,000 Meta employees stated that they understood the company's metaverse strategy. Employees have also grumbled about the high turnover and frequent shuffling of employees as Mark's priorities keep changing. Inside Meta, 2 employees said some workers jokingly refer to key metaverse projects as MMH, an acronym for Make Mark Happy. According to a post obtained by the New York Times, the vice president overseeing the metaverse division expressed disappointment in the low usage of Horizon Worlds by Meta employees. Zuckerberg stated that managers would begin monitoring employees' usage of Horizon Worlds and emphasized the importance of testing their own technology. He stated that, "Why don't we love the products we built so much that we use it all the time?" The simple truth is, if we don't love it, how can we expect our users to love it? And as the pressure grows, Zuckerberg has attempted to send a message to his employees, which is to get on board or get out. And in a meeting in June of 2022, Mark went on to say that, realistically, there's probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be here, and that he'd be turning up the heat towards specific actions and the goals he wanted to accomplish. Since then, the company has frozen most hiring, reduced budgets. Managers have been asked to start identifying low-performing employees. Forced with possible layoffs, some Meta employees have started to show some enthusiasm for projects. However, the transition has been rocky.
It's not just 10,000 jobs being cut, but Meta is also scrapping the 5,000 open roles that they were advertising for. And you go really quickly to the question of why, right? And then in there buried and in the regulatory filing is they've lowered their expenses forecast for this year to a range of $86 to $92 billion. So clearly they needed to go deeper to reduce that cash burn and spend.
Earlier this year, Bosworth of Meta tried to conduct a staff meeting inside Horizon Workrooms according to the employees present. The meeting was full of glitches and the team ended up switching back to Zoom. So as the video comes to a close, one burning thought is left in our brains. Is the metaverse really the future of technology and virtual reality? And what's really happening is a rocky start that many successful companies have. Or is Zuckerberg really living in a dreamland where even his own employees and business partners can't see the vision he's seeing? And his only response to that is to cut his workforce and fire employees. Only time will tell.